The spectacular drone footage from our video leads us straight into hidden worlds that leave us absolutely speechless. The images are so gripping and disturbing that they really shouldn't be seen by anyone. But we know your curiosity is stronger and you simply can't resist. So hit the like and subscribe button and prepare to get goosebumps all over your body. The BlackEyed Children. Are you still looking for the material for your next nightmare? Perfect! Then the BlackEyed Children are just the right thing for you. A look at the eerie legends from the USA and England reveals that they are very young people who at first seem like normal children, but on closer inspection spread fear and terror with their pitch black eyes and deathly pale faces. The creepy children supposedly ring the doorbells of people who are home alone and ask to be let in under some pretext. Whoever manages to fend off these uninvited visitors can then watch them vanish into thin air. A glimpse through the darkness. Drone footage not only provides us with overwhelming panoramic images from a bird's eye view, no, from time to time, they even help save lives. This was the case in April 2021, when rescue workers in England simply could not locate a missing person. Previously, Avon and Somerset police had been contacted by a caller who was concerned about the welfare of his friend. With the help of WhatsApp, he shared the last known location of the missing person with the officers, a remote field with some rivers and streams nearby. The subsequent search was already complicated from the beginning. The night was pitch dark and so foggy that one could barely see their own hand in front of their face. Although the police searched the entire area, they were unable to find the missing person. When flashlights and eyes failed, a special search drone from the fire department finally came into play. Equipped with a thermal imaging camera, it was soon able to reveal the outlines of a person who had apparently curled up on the riverbank. The alerted rescue teams immediately headed to that very position and saved the missing person's life. The loneliest man in the world. No other area hosts as many uncontacted tribes as the Brazilian Amazon rainforest. According to estimates by authorities, at least 100 indigenous groups live in the thicket of the jungle, vehemently rejecting contact with the outside world. Considering the fate of their ancestors, who were often kidnapped and enslaved, this decision is all too understandable. A cruel fate that the so-called last Tenaru also knew. Between the 70s and 90s, all the remaining tribe members were wiped out by local settlers. From then on, the man lived alone in the rainforest for about 20 years. The unique footage taken from this period reveals that he was a hunter and gatherer who frequently changed his location and dug deep holes in his dwellings. However, why he did this is completely unclear, just like his name, his language, and his exact age. Some people believe that the narrow, over 6 feet deep holes served as animal traps or hiding places. Others attributed a spiritual meaning to them. Even though the last surviving Tenaru was attacked by armed ranchers in 2009 and 2018, he managed to survive these incidents and survive the horrendous attacks. On August 24, 2022, the loneliest man in the world was finally found dead in his dwelling. According to the report from the Indigenous Affairs Bureau, he was lying peacefully in his hammock, which he had previously decorated with parrot feathers, as if he knew that he was going to die soon. Dramatic rescue. What began as a cheerful outing ended in a dramatic fight for survival. But what had happened? In February 2022, a young man named Babu decided to climb Charade Hill in Malampuya, India with his 2 friends. But then something happened that no one had expected. The 23-year-old slipped and fell between 2 rocks. Stuck in this precarious situation, the companions initially tried to rescue their friend. However, their efforts were in vain. When they realized they could not free Babu without endangering themselves, they left him behind to get help. As a result, the local population, along with the police and other rescue workers, began searching for ways to recover the accident victim from the steep ravine. The drone footage taken at this time shows Babu waiting in a dizzying height, unable to move even an inch forward or backward. Initially, however, the rescue mission was not under a good star. The first attempts were in vain, and even the deployment of a helicopter did not bring the desired success. In the end, Babu was trapped in his rocky prison for a full 2 days. Without a single drop of water, he had to endure the scorching heat of the day and the chilling cold of the night. But then the Indian Army finally arrived. In a daring operation that lasted several hours, the men managed to abseil down to Babu and bring him safely to the top of the mountain. In the bear's crosshairs. Meanwhile, in Russia, in 2022, a man decided to capture the idyllic scenery of a winter forest with his drone. But then, the peaceful scenery suddenly turned into a breakneck pursuit. The camera filmed a man who was running in panic from a full-grown brown bear. After the carnivore briefly looked over his shoulder to catch a glimpse of the drone, he immediately resumed chasing his shocked prey. But as spectacular as these images may seem at first glance, a healthy dose of skepticism is appropriate in this case too. Some viewers became suspicious due to the unusual sound. While the man's scream can be clearly heard, the drone's propellers are silent. However, those familiar with image editing and computer animation pointed out the bear's perfect shadow. Despite all the cries of a fake, it turned out that the video was indeed real, though not quite as we might have suspected at first. The supposed victim was in fact a TikToker named Dima. The bear, on the other hand, was named Tom and did not live in the wild, but belongs to one of Dima's friends. To make the clip more dramatic and generate more attention, the sound of a staged pursuit was edited in post-production. Rescue from hypothermia. It all began with a routine task. On February 24, 2018, the Lincolnshire police were called by a witness who had seen a car accident. The problem? There was no trace of the driver involved in the accident. When the officers arrived at the scene and inspected the overturned car, they couldn't tell whether the driver had been picked up by a friend or possibly had left on foot. On that night, the temperature had dropped well below freezing. And even though the police combed through the area for hours, the missing person seemed to have vanished into thin air. Eventually, the rescuers called for a drone equipped with a thermal imaging camera, enabling them to find the man. He was crouching about 525 feet away from the accident site in a ditch about 6.5 feet deep. Had the man who was in shock had not been found in time, he would have likely died of hypothermia, as the sun was not due to rise for another 4 hours. But fortunately, the hypothermic driver was immediately taken to the hospital where he received the urgently needed medical treatment. Unexplained Sky Object. A glitch in the Matrix, an extraterrestrial spaceship, or just an ordinary object caught by the wind. When Richard Cranner uploaded the drone footage he had recently captured in Ventura, California, the excitement in the community was boundless. The drone camera filmed a strange geometric formation that suddenly appeared among the clouds. A zoom later, it was clear that the ominous flying object was apparently accompanied by 2 others. After the first users had given their best alien theories, other users introduced more terrestrial explanations. According to them, the flying saucer would actually turn out to be an ordinary airplane towing an advertising banner behind it. The Lost Tomb. Picturesque beaches, lively hustle and bustle, and the mass grave of a vanished pre-Spanish civilization. The holiday island of Gran Canaria truly has a lot to offer. However, the sensational discovery was not credited to professional archaeologists, but to some amateur sleuths who had examined the so-called Guayar-de Gorge with their drone. After a total of 72 skeletons were found, the summoned experts confirmed that these were very likely connected to the mysterious Guanche culture. According to our knowledge, this people was already settled in Tenerife in the 10th millennium BC, from where it spread to the other Canary Islands in the following centuries. As a result of the conquest of the island group, the Guanches were ultimately exterminated as a distinct ethnic group. The rediscovered cave tomb, which contained the mortal remains of 62 adults and 10 newborns, is believed to have been used between the years 800 and 1000 AD. Thank you for sticking with us till the end. Feel free to leave us a thumbs up and subscribe to never miss any of our videos again. Which drone footage fascinated you the most? Have you ever flown a drone yourself and discovered something incredible? We're excited to read your comment.